in between my sophomore and junior year of college, or maybe during my sophomore year of college, there was a lot of pressure to succeed. Both my parents are highly educated, and I didn't think that they would support the idea of their firstborn daughter having a child, and at that age. I had a partner, but I was not married, and I was unsure of the future of that relationship. I would really be by myself trying to do it, and it was just a really scary kind of moment in time that I felt like I couldn't do it by myself, and so that was why I made the decision to do that.
I'll never forget the day that I found out I was pregnant. I was absolutely ecstatic. We had tried for so long and so hard. We went in and we did an ultrasound and we saw 2 heartbeats. And we were just absolutely ecstatic to have twins. When you're doing ultrasounds, you can tell by the tech whether something's good or not. And as it's going on and on, I'm getting more and more panicked. And the tech tells us that there's something wrong. And she says that the doctor will come in. So the doctor comes in and they tell us that with one of the fetuses, it looks as if there's a herniated diaphragm, and all the organs were in his chest and they weren't developing, and he had no lung, and the other lung was at 20%, and that if he was to survive, he would be hooked up on machines for his entire life, but that the chances of him surviving were pretty much nil. They recommended that you terminate the baby, that's the only way that you could not have him cause pain and suffering. And I said, so you mean abortion, right? You're talking about a second trimester abortion? And they said yes. And I was sort of taken back at how afraid everyone is to say what it really is. And I just kept thinking, thank God it's legal in the state I'm in.
I was 35 years old. The year was 1995. I had been married for 2.5 years, and I had a 6-month-old. And I was the primary breadwinner in our family. I had a good job and had been working. I had taken some maternity leave and was back at work. My husband had a new job. He was a financial planner but had just started, and there were some problems in our marriage when I looked back, but when it really came to be an issue is one day in August of '95, my husband went to work and he never came home. I eventually got a phone call from a friend who said that they had heard from someone else that my husband was in Atlantic City and he had borrowed someone's car and had pretty much totaled it. And they suggested that I go to the bank and check my bank account, which I proceeded to do and realized that my husband had basically wiped us out. And it was about 3 days later that I realized I was pregnant. And I just knew that there was no way that I could have a second child and continue to work and support my son. And I didn't know what was going to happen with my marriage, and I didn't have any money left. So I found a clinic in my area. It was very good and well reputable. And I decided that it was the best thing for me to do for my son and I was to have the abortion and terminate the pregnancy and really be there to focus on raising my son and figuring out what to do in my marriage.